Okay, nobody move, okay? I got a lot of shit in here that could cause a lot of damage, all right? So I don't want you guys, when you watch this video, I don't want you like making any sudden movements. I don't want you sneezing, definitely not sneezing. And I just want you to stay focused, okay? Stay focused, make sure all your locks are secured. Yeah, so let's review Final Destination Bloodlines. Oh, shit! Final Destination Bloodlines stars Breck Basinger, Richard Harmon, the late Tony Todd, and is directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein.
Only by embracing death will it pass you by.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2025 review for Final Destination Bloodlines, one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I'm such a fan of this franchise. It's unique. It's even hard to categorize as a slasher, like a tried and true slasher, because some people call it a slasher. Maybe psychotic horror. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you would call this franchise. Would you call it a slasher? It definitely has slasher elements to it, so I wouldn't say you're wrong if you call it a slasher. But yeah, I'm looking so forward to diving into this spoiler-free review. Broad strokes, there's not much I can tell you in a Final Destination movie without spoiling. I mean, yeah, I can do it, but you would want to spoil a movie like this just because the kills are front and center. They are like the main attraction, and it's hard not to I guess be specific. But I'm not going to do that. I'll save that for the spoiler review. Also, real quick, the last 48 hours have been a whirlwind, and I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. My wife released this book officially 2 days ago, or really yesterday as of this recording, and already it's at number 6 on the bestseller list for children's epilepsy and health on Amazon. I could not be more proud of my wife for this book, but also it's a wonderful, wonderful story. It was inspired by our lovely granddaughter who has a rare disorder called Dravet syndrome, and my wife wanted to write a children's fantasy novel. We're big like Harry Potter fans and children's fantasy, and so she just thought, hey, I'll write this novel, and it turned into such a passion project. And all the long hours of work really paid off. Professional illustrator here for this cover, Michael Deshow. Definitely want to give him props for this beautiful cover for this book. But you can get this book for a discounted price for a very limited time. It's only $7.99 right now. That's not going to last for too long. I'll put a link in the info box, and I'll pin the link in the comments as well. You're supporting a great cause too by getting this book, so you will enjoy it too. It's a very well written book, and a lot of people have already bought the book. And I'm looking forward to those reviews coming in. I'd love to hear what you guys think of it. I'm sure a lot of you are going to love it, okay? And you'll see the hard work that went into it. So buy the book. Let's get into the Final Destination review. And by the way, that's the not for resale. So that's just a proof copy. You won't see that on the actual book. So let's start off with a quick plot synopsis. The beginning of every Final Destination movie starts with a premonition, but this one is different because it takes place 50 years ago. I want to say the 60s, something like that. And this opening sequence is one of the best premonition sequences, I think, out of the entire franchise. I saw this in a Dolby theater, and my chair was literally just rocking throughout this whole movie. Every death was so pronounced, and that just added to the fun of it. But you have this character named Iris. She happens to be pregnant, and her boyfriend is going to propose to her, but she has this premonition. And of course, like all Final Destination movies, a big chain reaction happens. But this one, it's a little patient, but the payoff is just massive. The kill scenes are excellent. Bodies freaking... No, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to spoil anything. But yeah, you will love that freaking opening sequence. And then we fast forward 50 years to the present day, and our main character, Stefani, who happens to be the granddaughter of Iris. She's having these dreams about Iris's premonition, which is very unique. We've never done this in the franchise before. But the reason this movie is called Bloodlines is because Iris's bloodline is connected, and there's a connection to pretty much every Final Destination movie. It all starts with Iris, which is really cool about this movie. And by saying that, you might wonder, are there, tons of callbacks from the previous movies and whatnot? No, this movie stays grounded in its own world. You might see very little Easter eggs, but I kind of like that this movie didn't go off of member berries. It still stayed contained because we all know, the previous Final Destination movies. We don't need to see them, and it's so tempting to show that stuff. And to the movie's credit, they don't lean on it too much. Okay, jumping into the characters of this movie, to me, they're just Final Destination characters. They're not bad. They're not great. They're just there to serve a purpose. We know what that purpose is, and it's going to happen. People are going to die. Don't be fooled by the trailer. I thought for sure that trailer is going to show all the great kills. It doesn't. It actually shows sequences where you think, oh, somebody's going to die like this, but they don't. They end up dying another way. I'm not going to tell you which kills do that, but I'll just say if you saw the trailer, you're fine. I was quite surprised by some of the sequences in this movie that I thought were going to go one way, but they ended up going a different way. And it was really, really fun. And they definitely play on that lineage aspect of the movie. And even in that plot point, there are some nice surprises, especially concerning death and death's motivations. And I'll even say right now, death as a character, I think, is more pronounced in this movie than in any of the other Final Destination movies. It really almost feels like a pissed off entity. And yes, that was an aspect of the previous movies, but it's much more pronounced in this movie. And really what that means is just the way the deaths present themselves. There feels more than ever like an entity pushing things along the way, trying to kill people. And let's talk about the kills without spoiling any of the kills. This is some of I might be jumping the gun here, but I do think it's some of the best standout kills. I'll go ahead and say I do think every kill in this movie counts. It's hard for me to compare it to previous movies because I think every Final Destination movie has at least a couple of kills that are just flat out insanity. This definitely has that, but I think as far as like the blood factor, it definitely ups the ante. I'll just say there's a kill involving an MRI that is glorious. And every single kill in this movie, I saw this in a packed theater, and there was a massive reaction every single time. Everybody started laughing, enjoying it, having a great time. Just about every single kill. It was really, really fun. My favorite kill involved a garbage truck. That's all I'm going to say. It was insanity. It was so freaking cool watching it unfold. And yeah, I'm being very careful with my words because I want you guys to go into this not knowing anything whatsoever. But I'll just say, like most Final Destination movies, I had such a blast with this. Is it the best movie of the bunch? No, I don't think it is, but it's up there probably in the top 3. And I think story-wise, this one has the most fleshed out story. And it kind of, brings everything together full circle, which is really cool. Last thing I want to talk about is Tony Todd. It was heartbreaking. The audience clapped when, his entrance happened. And I think as a character, he has the most to play with in this movie over all of the movies. And I don't know if they possibly wrote that because maybe they knew that he was dying, because there's even some lines in the movie almost like of him saying goodbye. And he had cancer at the time, so of course he's going to know that he's passing. But it was beautiful. I'll just say that right now, and I almost teared up. It was a very nice, lovely scene for Tony Todd, and he does have an important part in this movie. And there will be revelations about him as a character that haven't been explored in previous movies, which was cool. Loved him. His acting was wonderful too. So overall, guys, super high purchase worthy for this one. I was pleasantly surprised. It packs a big punch. It's exactly what you would want out of a Final Destination movie, while giving a little bit extra in terms of story, being a little bit more ambitious. And those are great things. I think my biggest complaint about the movie would be the current times we live in and just the way the film looks. It definitely has that glossy look that a lot of movies have these days, the Netflix look. Whereas when you look at the earlier movies in the franchise, they have that more cinematic, 35 millimeter type look to them. Just more depth to the screen. And I've seen a few videos on YouTube covering this subject too, especially with the Wicked movie and how that movie just looks so flat. This one does look sort of flat, and I think if this was shot on film, it would have been so much better. But it was still great. It was still great. It was still really fun. I will be doing a full spoiler review, and we will have a spoiler section in the Hit the Bricks podcast that we're doing on Monday night. We're doing a live stream on that, and we'll have a small spoiler section about this movie, which will be really fun. I will be doing a spoiler review. I will finally be doing a ranking for the Final Destination franchise. Right now, I don't know what that ranking is. They are that close. So, yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of this movie. I'm sure a lot of you are seeing it tonight, and I'm looking forward to getting in the comments and discussing it with you. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day, and on Fridays we do FIFA Fridays. Follow me, Drumdums, on my social, support me on Patreon, become a channel member, buy me a coffee. And we guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, and Drumdum out. Oh, and a nice, fun little anecdote. Somebody who knows my channel, he was literally walking up as I was walking into the theater, and he said, "Drumdums." And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. It happens every now and then, and it was really, really fun. I love running into you guys that watch the channel. So, yeah, thank you. I didn't get his name. I should have got his name, but yeah. He did watch the movie, though, the same movie that I did.